I'm zombie but awake 밤비가 내려wake Can't wait no time is a game so I just put it all my way I'm zombie but awake 밤비가 내려wake
Crazies, man. Y'all welcome back to the lab. Lee here in the seat, man. Y'all saw that title too as well. We're talking about waking up. Yes, waking up. Waking up is hard to do. But before we get this going, y'all remember, man, y'all hit that thumbs up button, subscribe, and leave me those wonderful comments about these waking up that you are doing. Because, you know, we all need a little bit of help waking up in this reality that we live in. So, without further ado, let's get this going. Yes, waking up. Waking up is hard to do. It is something that all of us are going to go through in our day and age, especially this time in reality where everything seems so fake and nothing seems real. And then on the other hand, it is so nothing, everything is so real and everything is fake. That makes sense. But it is one of the hardest things you can do is wake up in this reality that we live in now. There are so many different ways of waking up. You know, I'm a psychedelic nut, so psychedelics was one of the ways that I fully woke up into this reality, this plane of existence. But meditation, Mandela Effects, kind of conspiracy theories, jumping down certain rabbit holes, life experiences, good, bad, all, you know, a lot of things help people wake up. A lot of things trigger that wake up system. Now, what is waking up? What is waking up all about? Well, waking up is all about seeing it as a different spot of reality. Going into your subconscious, waking that up, and looking at reality that you live in a different way of view. You see it and you perceive the world in a different way than you used to. You can see the different colors now, or you can, you take those glasses off, or you put those glasses on, either way you want to put it. But when you wake up, you have this sense of more of a love within your body, but you get a little bit confusion of what to do next. But everything is awake, your senses, your ability to thought process faster through every situation that you possibly could be in. Also, when you do wake up, you tend to follow your path a little bit more, follow your dreams a little bit more. Nothing, you kind of get off the script of what they've programmed you your entire life. So when you start waking up, you move to a different side of the path of your path you're supposed to go on, which is a wonderful thing. One of the hardest things when you do start to wake up is that you start seeing the people around you a little differently. That goes with friends, family, acquaintances, even, your own partner, your relationship partner, whatever partner, you see those as a different way of seeing it. Some might be good. You might get along with more of your family members, your acquaintances, and people around you. But majority of the time, you realize that they're not on your level, and you can't communicate to them the way you used to. It goes with the Mandela Effect. A lot of people, when they wake up through the Mandela Effects and they start telling their family members, their friends, their acquaintances, their co-workers, even their significant others, sometimes those other people that are hearing this stuff for the first time, or maybe not for the first time, they shun you away. They look at you like you're crazy. What are you talking about, man? The Kit Kat never had a hyphen, or the Monopoly guy never had a monocle. You're going stupid. You're crazy. You Luco. That stuff's just stupid. It's just mixed memory. It's nothing. And from there, you feel alienated. Is the best way to put it, alienated. And this usually happens when you first wake up. You're alienated. You feel alienated from the conversations points that you used to have before. Conversations go different ways, but when you start bringing up your interests, because most people are, you can bring up, you have it every day. You won't bring up an instance of a Mandela Effect or the moon landing or flat Earth or is weed bad for you, or stuff like that. Those everyday kind of things don't always come out. But when you start showing it and bringing it out to them, and you kind of see the change that you're doing, how you look at it as at a different perspective, some people shun you. Some love it in and bring it in and accept it. But most of the time, a lot of people really start shutting you away. They start thinking you're crazy, you're losing your mind. And that's when you yourself kind of draws away from people, from that kind of thing. You kind of hesitate to bring up those kind of subjects, to bring up a conversation of just whatever it could be, Remember the yield sign when it was yellow? What are you talking about? It's never been fucking yellow. Those type of stupid things, you get hesitant. But it's a good thing. It's a good thing in this time and age. It's a good thing that when you wake up, those type of things happen. They always place people in your life for a reason, even if they're only there for a day or two, you never see them again, or you learn a lesson. Maybe they did something great, or they got a good lesson, or they did something bad. That's the gist of it. That's the whole part of, the program, if you want to say. But that's what makes you different. That's what makes you better at this. You level up and you understand that those people were put there for a reason of teaching and understanding yourself. And it's not a bad thing, it does suck sometimes, even, my 7-8 years going into my psychedelic experiences and being awake, and, how I shine, you find those people around you, this core communities that love these conversations. And there is other part of waking up, is that now you start finding your people. And I say that, like, your people, because all of us awoke as a woke consciousness. We all are one together. I mean, we're one and all anyway. But when you find your people, you find your group, you find your community, you start releasing that negative energy into a positive way of thinking, a positive way of communication, showing that, let alone it lets you bring in and absorb all that positive knowledge that comes in from the other people and the other part of the communities. And that's what makes you a bigger person at all levels of the steps, to God mode is part of that. Is part of raising your elevation and learning from each other, regardless if it's good or bad. When you're waking up, that's part of it. When you wake up, it is one of those wonderful feelings too as well. It is one of those that awes, like, the meaning of it all. You just couldn't explain it. And now that you know it all and you feel like you can explain it, it doesn't sound right still, but it's true. Deep down inside all of us, each and every one of us, we have every answer we've ever needed on this face of reality, in this game, in a matrix. We have the answers already right there in our head. We just got to find the right question. It sounds weird, but when you waking up, you already get these answers. You get these downloads, these processes, these thought patterns, your thoughts of, hey, let me check this out. You start noticing, the angel numbers, your 4/4s, your 2/2s, you start learning, you start seeing different synchronizations within the matrix with yourself, songs, music. I mean, for me, myself personally, it's all the time, especially if I listen to my music, the music speaks to me. It plays my playlist, my life of a playlist. And you start understanding that when you wake up, that everything that we did sometimes, we forced, we planned it or we did it, we forced it, we went with it, but we forced what was happening to us and what was going on. You forced your playlist, and you wanted to watch this, not instead of that. And then when you waking up, we tend to listen to that little voice in our head, or our intuition, to go with the flow, let it show you, and then you make your choice on the way. But you've already made that choice, and that's the wonderful thing about it too. You start seeing the synchronization within this universe, all these wavelengths. It doesn't matter what it is. You can be thinking about something or a song, and you got it in his head, and you're like, man, it's just humming away. And then, 5 minutes later, it's on the radio. You think of numbers, and then you end up seeing these numbers somewhere. It's one of those things that is a step of waking up and learning to wake up, and waking up when you get to a process of seeing, and that's the focus. Waking up is one of the hardest things a human being can do. Yes, you can say pregnancy, giving birth. Yes, you can say losing a loved one. Yes, you can say like a breaking a leg or whatever, going through trauma, pain itself. But the awakening of your spirit, the awakening of your soul, the awakening of your mind and your body is one of those that you cannot put a word of an essence on it. It is an amazing feeling. It's something that you have to experience yourself, and once you experience, you don't go backwards. You can't go backwards. There's no turning back. It don't matter how you wake up. Once you wake up, there's no going backwards. You don't want to go backwards. And if you did, would you? You learn that your next step forward is yourself. Do what makes you happy. Not saying to step on people's shoes and shit like that, but do what makes you happy with the good of some karma, and see where it takes you. Really see what it takes you. I'm a prime example myself, from coming from being from a pill addiction, losing my family and everything else because of my pill addiction, to bringing myself back up. I'm 10 years clean now. I'm almost going on almost 7.5 years of my psychedelic studies and teachings, and waking up in the middle of all that, and it's the hellish, I guess you call it, through get myself back on my feet, was one of the hardest but most amazing things for myself. And I would never want to turn back, because I wouldn't be able to handle the situations that I have in my family at this moment if I would have never woke up and be able to see the essence of what I have, or the truth in front of my face, and knowing that this is my journey, these are my steps, kind of like Rey and freaking Star Wars. This is your final steps. Your steps are finished. You have to fight this yourself. Everybody has a battle, and trials and tribulations, but it's one of those, when you do wake up, it's an amazing thing. It is hard to do. It is a difficult time, conversations, thought patterns, even your own self. You do different things different ways. It just happens. But don't let it scare you. Embrace it. Bring in that power. And I promise you, you will find yourself, and you'll find your truth. Man, I love waking up. I think the waking up is the most incredible thing on earth somebody can do, especially in this time of days and what we're in, and seeing the truth in front of us, knowing that the reality we live in and have been taught our entire lives has been a fucking fake lie. But at the same time, it's nice to know that it's a lie, and you know the truth, and you know what to do with it. I love each and every one of you. Y'all remember to hit that thumbs up button, subscribe, and leave me your comments about you waking up. How's it feel for you to wake up? And then remember, y'all keep your mind open, because those eyes will see everything in front of you. Y'all stay crazy.
I'm going to hang up this phone, and then I'm going to show these people what you don't want them to see. I'm going to show them a world without you. A world without rules and controls, without borders or boundaries. A world where anything is possible. Where we go from there is a choice I leave to you.